ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Rage video where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to, for the first, I've been meaning to cover this album, I should say, for such a long time now, because from my perspective, if it counts for literally anything, but that's besides the point, I honestly have heard that this album is one of their greats, if not one of the greats, because something of a running theme throughout Hail to the King by Avenged Sevenfold is that these are all songs that have been greatly inspired by other bands. Now, we do know that Hail to the King was a heavily Motorhead-inspired song, and we've covered that, I think, like twice before. But to be honest, I kind of want to say third time's the charm, because I want people to understand that it's possibly one of their best songs they've ever done. Which, to be honest, considering how rather limited my knowledge of Avenged Sevenfold is, to the point of just straight up being ignorant, then it would be really nice and kind of fun to actually see just exactly if I should just stick to an album and go for it cover to cover, which is kind of why we are doing Hail to the King. Also, a small announcement, and this is probably a big one, is that if you ignore the horrible acneing on my neck and subsequently that, you also notice the fact that I broke out my Daily Dose of Internet shirt. But what you might also have picked up on is literally just how much room there is in this shirt now. And it has been attributed to literally one thing and one thing only, is that I have lost quite a lot of weight since the last time I made a YouTube video, which was only about 3 days ago. But in that space of time, ladies and gentlemen, I've lost over 8 pounds in just over 3 days. So if by the end of this album I somehow become invisible, but you can still hear my voice, you'll probably understand as to if I've ever been this skinny in year. Literally the last time I can ever remember being as skinny as this was possibly 2017, where the lightest I weighed then was about 69 kilos. But I reckon 60 kilos might possibly be on. Just to give you an emphasis, ladies and gentlemen, look, this is just standing normal, and this is just how much this takes up, and this is just the actual size of it. It's basically, you could fit a second person here almost. But yeah, once again, ladies and gentlemen, just bear all this in mind, because the only other thing that's two things that are worth mentioning just before we begin properly, is that Shepard of Fire, which is the first song we'll be taking a look at, was heavily inspired by the song Sympathy for the Devil. And I've never listened to Sympathy for the Devil, so that might be something that might be coming up on Raging Reality Classic, if all goes well. And also, this was used as the intro to Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I've never played Call of Duty Black Ops 2, but I know quite a lot of people who do, so this ought to be fun. So, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. Let's begin. Shepard of Fire in 3, now! Asserting dominance with a T-pose.
shepherd of fire. Well, I can promise you paradise. No need to serve on your knees. And when you're lost in the darkest of hours, take a moment and tell me who you see. Won't tell you who not to be. Now you know I am your pride, agent of wealth, bearer of needs. I am your wall, arm in the strong, aiding the weak. Know me by name, shepherd of fire. Disciple of the cross and champion in suffering. Immerse yourself into the kingdom of redemption. Harden your mind from the chains of the divine. Make way, the shepherd of fire. Through the ages of time, I've been known for my hate, but I'm a dealer of simple choices. For me, it's never too late. I am your pride, agent of wealth, bearer of needs. I am your wall, arm in the strong, aiding the weak. I am your wrath, I am your guilt, I am your lust. I am your law, I am your star, I am your trust. Know me by name, shepherd of fire.
Yuki, ladies and gentlemen, that was Shepherd of Fire by Avenged Sevenfold, and I think if this is the standard of what is, it's phenomenal. I think it's spectacular, ladies and gentlemen. That again, a band that I've heard through a lot of things, through T-shirts, through merchandise, and I've like. It's not that I'm not a fan of these guys. It's just the fact that I don't know why I've just never really thought the time. I would never go out of my way to listen to them, which I know might seem very counterintuitive, but just listening to this, it's almost like, again, there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just sort of a bunch of guys just playing great music, and that's really, what more could you need? And that's the sort of thing I reckon is going to get us through a lot of these sorts of songs, because they are spectacular for many, many things, because it was composed really, really well. I can see quite a lot of influences, well, for probably what you could imagine Sympathy for the Devil is, because it is sort of like on display that follow the devil because he doesn't like make he doesn't pull punches. He knows exactly what it's about, and how could you say no to stuff like that? That's That at any rate is the theory behind it. And even Shepherd of Fire is a very provocative sort of idea for shepherds, or something that's usually creeps up every so often when it comes to Christianity. But I will also just add this, ladies and gentlemen, is that if there will come a point where I will do things like Sympathy for the Devil, and if there were other songs very specifically are referenced in things like this, like Requiem, for example. Actually, I tell you what, here's an interesting thing. We'll say, okay, so if Shepherd of Fire is meant to be like Sympathy for the Devil, Hail to the King is definitely more like meant to be Motorhead, and that's more, I think that's specifically meant to be Bow Down to the King. Doing Time seems possible. It sounds almost like a Pantera idea. This Means War could mean Iron Maiden or Metallica. Requiem could possibly mean like what Requiem. What's one of the ones that really like plays around with like dream sequences, or maybe Papa Roach, perhaps? Crimson Day, something Slipknot. That Slipknot absolutely could be a case here. And to be honest, looking at literally the rest of these guys, I have virtually no idea. However, again, since I'm really sort of just getting to grips really with Avenged Sevenfold as one of like a first time doing this, I will say I do fucking give credit to the names of these guys: Johnny Christ, Sylvester Gates, Zaki Vengeance, and M Shadows. It's look at that! Fozzy did a cover of Shepherd of Fire. So if you ever want to listen to Chris Jericho do a cover of an Avenged Sevenfold song, which is in itself largely inspired, not necessarily a cover of, but there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of those sorts of days. We're learning quite a lot already, and it's only just the first song. So anyway, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this reaction video to Shepherd of Fire by Avenged Sevenfold. Please make sure to leave all your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below, because we want to know what you guys thought for yourselves, and I cannot wait to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.